Hello everyone, I'm Angela Lee Duckworth. When we think about intelligence, it's easy to imagine test scores, degrees, or even witty comebacks, but real intelligence goes beyond all that. It shows up in choices, especially the ones no one sees, like what we choose to share and what we keep to ourselves. I once had a student, brilliant by every academic measure, but what made her stand out wasn't what she said in class, it was what she didn't say. She listened more than she spoke. She understood that words are powerful, and some things once shared cannot be taken back. That's not secrecy, that's wisdom. Truly intelligent people understand that not everything needs to be broadcasted. Not every plan needs to be explained. Not every emotion needs an audience. In fact, some of the strongest decisions come from knowing when not to speak. They don't share their next move because clarity in your own direction doesn't need validation. When you speak too soon, you invite distractions, doubts, and sometimes sabotage. Let actions be louder than announcements. They don't share every personal struggle, not because they're pretending everything is fine, but because they know the difference between healing and complaining. Vulnerability is powerful, but only when it's earned by trust and timing, and they don't share every opinion. Just because something is true to you doesn't mean it's helpful to say it out loud. Wisdom is the pause between thought and speech, the filter that asks, is this useful? Is this kind? Is this necessary? This is not about being closed off, it's about being intentional. It's about understanding that self-respect sometimes sounds like silence. That peace is preserved when ego is quiet. That intelligence isn't always loud. It's often quiet, observing, learning, growing. So the next time you feel the urge to share everything, pause. Ask yourself if what you're about to say serves your growth or simply satisfies a fleeting need for attention. Because in the long run, intelligence doesn't crave applause. It seeks impact. Truly intelligent people understand that not every dream needs to be spoken out loud. They know that the most fragile stage of any goal is the beginning, the moment it's still forming in your mind, not yet tested by action, and highly vulnerable to the opinions and doubts of others. That's why they guard their future plans with care, not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom. When we announce our goals too early, we risk inviting distractions disguised as support or criticism. People will offer unsolicited advice, warnings, or stories of their own failures. And while some feedback can be helpful, much of it can plant seeds of doubt, especially when the vision is still new and uncertain. Intelligent people are aware that exposure at the wrong time can dilute their clarity and shake their confidence. So instead of seeking validation, they stay quiet and focus on execution. There's also a psychological cost to sharing plans too soon. Studies in motivation, psychology suggest that talking about our goals can create a premature sense of achievement. The brain interprets the act of telling others as progress, releasing dopamine as if we've already done the hard work. This illusion of progress can actually reduce our drive to follow through. Intelligent individuals recognize this mental trap. They don't chase the dopamine rush of approval, they chase results. Another reason for guarding plans is to avoid unnecessary accountability from the wrong people. When we share goals publicly, especially with those who don't understand our vision or mindset, we open ourselves up to timelines, comparisons, and judgment that can limit creativity and momentum. Smart people build in private so they can fail, adapt, and refine without the weight of outside pressure. They create a safe space for trial and error, a space free from the expectations of others. That doesn't mean they walk alone. Intelligent people still seek counsel, but they're highly selective. They talk to mentors, not spectators. They share with those who have earned the right to hear their ideas, people who can truly support their growth rather than simply react to their ambition. There is a difference between building quietly and building in isolation. When the time is right, when the idea has been tested, when the path is clearer, they share, and when they do, it's not to impress, but to inspire. because by then their actions already speak louder than any promise could. In a world that values instant sharing and public declarations, restraint has become a rare form of intelligence. The ability to stay focused and protect your plans is a quiet strength. It shows discipline, emotional maturity, and a deep understanding that success doesn't come from talking about it. It comes from showing up for it day after day without needing to be seen.